Now let me go ahead and ask, is there anybody here who wants to speak on the item that you have the signs for? Can I see a show of hands, please? All right. Looks like there's about 5 of you. Who else wants to address the City Council on any other issue? All right. Well, then all we'll hear from tonight is from the people with the signs. And let me say something before we go there. I'm going to recuse myself from this discussion. As I told you before, I am an assistant district attorney. My office is the agency that is investigating the propriety of this shooting. I don't ever want to be questioned, my office questioned or this council questioned because of my participation in this. I have nothing to do with the investigation. It is a completely different unit in my office that does it, that will handle it. I have, as we say in the business, completely walled off from information regarding this and so forth. So in light of that, without, I don't want to give anyone any reason to say he shouldn't have been there. I don't want anyone to say, for that matter, he should have been there. The safer and better avenue, as far as I'm concerned, is just to step down during this discussion. And any action that this council, if it ever gets to that point, takes on this issue, I won't be participating in it. So nobody can accuse this council of impropriety. All right. Now, that being said, I'm going to, you're out of order. I'm going to step down and ask the Mayor Pro Tem to please conduct this portion of the meeting.
Okay, if I could have the first speaker, and if you'd like, you could just slide up so that the next person steps right up. Please give your name. If you would like, you may give your address at the book provided to your immediate left. That's optional, and you have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Sure. My name is Michelle Collender. I think you guys know where I live because my brother was shot outside of my parents' home. Now, before actually, if you guys can pause this 5 minute, I just want to take a liberty real quick and let you guys all know I am disgusted by this police force. We had a peaceful protest on Yorba Linda Boulevard and Imperial Highway tonight. Maybe you can tell me why you needed 4 police officers there on motorcycles watching us the entire time. Maybe you can tell us why there was a police officer.
You need to address the council.
Okay, maybe you guys can tell us why there is a police officer on a motorcycle at every single corner as we walked here. Okay, intimidation and bullying, I don't appreciate it. I would hope that you guys don't appreciate it either. It's not the kind of police we need here in Yorba Linda. Now, I'll begin. I spoke to you 2 weeks ago. At that point, you had failed to address what is possibly the first officer-involved shooting ever in Yorba Linda. I was greatly disappointed that I had to come to you first for action. But now, after 2 weeks of silence, I am livid that you still have done nothing. To me, this is not only irresponsible leadership, this is a complete failure of our municipal government. You are supposed to be our representatives, my brother's representatives. You're supposed to be overseeing the police. In my opinion, these police are criminals. And even if you don't agree, you must recognize that what happened that night that my brother was shot, that was just plain bad, stupid police work. And Julian died because of it. And for that, you all must take some action on that. The mayor's recused himself, but I wanted to address the fact that last time he interrupted me and told me that he couldn't do anything about this because of his position as an assistant DA. It appears that his dual position here compromises the integrity of both offices. He claims to have complete independence, but he used to be on the Special Assignments Unit. The Special Assignment Unit is the one that's investigating this case. Further, District Attorney Tony Rakakis personally endorses his election campaign and him as mayor. He personally attends his election campaign parties. Justice requires that the DA's investigation of this be completely independent. I am asking you guys, and I'm asking him, even though he's not here, to prove to us that that investigation will remain independent and that he will have no influence on that investigation or the DA's determination on this case. Further, I am very disappointed that he recused himself tonight. He has a responsibility to the people here of Yorba Linda. How can we rely on him and you guys to be our voice and our representatives when he's going to bow out as soon as one of his hired police kills one of his constituents? Just weeks ago, riots broke out in LA after a man was killed by the police. The mayor and police chief immediately came forward with the name of the shooter and a detailed account of what happened. Here, the Brea police killed Julian, and both Chief Hutchinson and this council take advantage of our peaceful protest. Shame on you, and shame on the Brea police. Shame on you all for hiding behind a veil of silence. Shame on you for turning a blind eye towards my family and this community. Mr. Mayor, oh, not here, maybe I'll say Mr. District Attorney, I'm sure you're listening. You are an officer of the court. Shame on you for turning your back on justice. I ask you guys tonight to show us that you take your position seriously. You ignored my past demands, so I will lay them out very clearly for you now. First, transparency. Chief Hutchinson and his police are withholding all information outside of their skeletal press release, and at this point, their credibility in any forthcoming information is highly suspect. City Attorney, maybe you can tell us what the legal basis is requiring them to withhold that information from us. I am asking you, as counsel, to demand that this information be released to us. People deserve to know who killed Julian. He knows who he is. He knows who slammed my mom against the hood of a police car. He knows who denied my parents the sacred right to see their dead child's body at the hospital.
Right.
Why should they know? Why don't we know? Our city deserves a transparent police department, and I believe that this council lacks integrity if it cannot stand behind that. After some disapproving comments on Chief Hutchinson's pictures of assault rifles being shown at a community event at Brea's National Night Out, the chief took them off of his website without any explanation. The chief can take down those pictures, but he and his department still display those rifles. What he did is hide evidence to change the appearance of what actually happened. That's called a cover-up, and that's what's happening with Julian's case. The Brea PD has had 83 days to come forward with the truth, but instead they are hiding. So this is what I'm forced to believe. My brother was innocent. That officer shooter is guilty of murder. The Brea police are perpetrating an ongoing cover-up to protect their own misconduct and criminal behavior, and they have provided false information to the district attorney to further this cover-up. If there is nothing to hide, release all of that information now. Secondly, safety. You all want to lower crime, right? How about you start with taking the only person who has killed anybody in this city this year off the streets? I'm talking about the cop who killed Julian. The officer shooter's back on duty. Do you know what's happening with the internal investigation? I don't, because the chief, he won't give a straight answer. He's publicly contradicted himself on whether it's being done now or later at all for that matter. Either the chief has no idea what's going on in his department or he's lying. Please demand that an internal investigation be completed immediately. That investigation needs to be transparent and open to the public. And to ensure the safety of Yorba Linda, I ask for your counsel to review and approve any findings before that officer is allowed back to work, especially if there's any finding that all policies were followed or that excessive force was not used. Thirdly, accountability. The DA's office is currently doing the criminal investigation of Julian's case. The DA's office has a dependent relationship with the police, which I am concerned may bias this decision. I'm asking you to make a public statement demanding that the DA's office effectively carry out its job for the people of the state and conduct an accurate, comprehensive, and unbiased investigation into the shooting. Counsel, I urge you to tell the DA to take the question of whether this officer committed a crime and present it to an impartial jury of his peers. Finally, Mayor, who's left? Last time the mayor left, last time I was here, the mayor offered me his condolences, and I appreciate that. Yet it calls out the fact that none of you other council members have offered any condolences to my family. You all campaign as if you are here for the people, but you have nothing to say to my parents, who have lived here longer than some of you, and have suffered the greatest loss that any parent can imagine at the hands of your contracted police. I believe that speaks volumes about who you really are, not just as politicians, but as people. I thanked him for his condolences, but as you can see, I have a lot of support here, and Julian has a lot of support. So, as my mayor, as my family's mayor, as Julian's mayor, and as Julian's council, I don't need condolences. I need action, and we need justice. I insist that you all undertake this as your absolute first priority. This is, after all, a young human life that was senselessly taken by the Brea police. Like I said last time, I hope to see action on this immediately. I have very little confidence that I can rely on any of you to represent us and to be good representatives. I hope that you prove me wrong.